My HGV Insurance is proud to sponsor Trucking TV. Let us take the stress out of arranging your HGV insurance.
Welcome to Trucking TV's Sunday night special for Sunday the 5th of March 2017. My name's Chris Gosling. Tonight we'll be following up on a couple of stories from our Facebook page, discovering just how low some truck drivers' wages are, and later in the programme we'll have a chat about what can happen to you if you don't get to the toilet in time, part of our coverage of the Truckers Toilets UK campaign that we're supporting. If you've got points to make about anything that's said or reported here, then it's easy to have your say. You can comment on Facebook, or you can call and leave a spoken message on our call-in phone number. That's 07393 588 127. We'll be glad to publish whatever you have to say. First up tonight, did you know that the national minimum wage is due to increase on the 1st of April? It goes up to £7.50 per hour for everyone over 25. That's getting pretty close to the knuckle for some employers. A driver just sent us this ad from Monster advertising for the 700 truck Curry European, who say they're looking for Class 1 drivers operating a 6-day tramp for just £7.75 per hour. That gives what they call a basic weekly wage of £426 based on a 55-hour working week. On the kind of 40-hour basic week that most people work, that's the equivalent to £310. Just £8 a week more than a McDonald's burger flipper should earn under the new national minimum wage. But around £30 a week less than a Lidl's customer assistant should get at £338 for 40 hours. The £24 a night overnight allowance for 5 nights puts another £120 a week into your pocket, but what's that really worth to the driver, especially with allowances coming under pressure from the inland revenue? 2 of our Facebook stories got a lot of interest this week. First, the Polish driver in a Polish registered truck wedged in a narrow lane in Walken, Stevenage, and then the shots of these drivers on their handphones at Dover Docks, a story from Kent Live. Relating to the phone story, many drivers expressed their concerns about the way that the police treat foreign drivers. So we called up the police to ask them about it. If you haven't already seen that report, it's online on Facebook and YouTube, and here's a link to it, worth watching. Last Sunday we spoke to a lady called Jill Kemp, who runs a campaign called Truckers Toilets UK, leading the battle to make sure truckers get the right to use toilets wherever they stop to collect or deliver. She's having a real impact on firms who refuse drivers' toilet facilities, and we urge you to contact her Facebook page. Search for Truckers Toilets UK. This Sunday we thought we'd continue the theme. Here's Raymond Martin of the British Toilet Association. First, he's going to talk about the kind of problems you can generate for yourself if you don't go to the loo when you need to. Raymond, one of the things that here at Trucking TV we're trying to do is to convince people that they should maybe be a bit stronger about asking to use toilet facilities, because truck drivers in the UK, Northern Ireland included, are often refused toilet facilities. We think that people do themselves harm by not using a toilet when they need to. Tell us how that works. I mean, our bodies are complicated things. What can happen if we don't go to the loo when we need to?
Well, that's absolutely correct, Chris. You know, there are 5 things we need to do as a human species. We need to eat, sleep, drink, breathe, and go to the toilet. Now, failure to do any one of those 5 things can be extremely harmful to us as a human species. And if we're eating and drinking, obviously the stuff is converted into a number of substances, into water and ammonia, salts and solids, whatever, and that has to be dispelled out of the human body because it's technically poison. Yeah. And that's where we need to go to the toilet. And if we don't get rid of that poison from our system, then a number of things can happen. We can become delirious. We can become slightly disorientated at a very low level. We can lapse into unconsciousness at a slightly higher level. If we go up at a level again, you can find it can lead to serious convulsions and a loss of concentration. And obviously that's extremely dangerous for people like truck drivers and van drivers, anyone driving any sort of motorized equipment. But it can actually lead to stroke, and in very, very severe cases, heart attack, and then obviously the final bit is death. So we're talking about something here that affects the human body. It affects us as human beings whether we're walking around or driving or whatever it is. It's something that we need to do several times a day. We need to expel these poisons from our body, and if we don't do it, and we don't do it in time, it can then become, if we're going to start to experience these type of convulsions or connections or lapses of concentration, that can be extremely dangerous, particularly in the case of truck drivers and people who are driving long distances and have to concentrate on what they're trying to do.
One of the things that comes across when you're talking to drivers quite often is they say, well, I just had to cross my legs and get on with it. And that's no good, is it?
It really isn't any good. I mean, public toilet, having access to a public toilet is about health and well-being, and that's what the British Toilet Association has been fighting for the last 15, 16 years. And we've been saying to governments, look, hang on a second, we are a transient nation. We are moving up and down the country, going from city to city, whether it's visiting family and friends, or whether it's doing daily deliveries and small vans, or whether it's trucks and large loads. But we're travelling further and further afield, and as we're travelling, we're going into areas that we don't know, and therefore it's important that we can find a public convenience when we need it, because like many people, I've suffered from diverticulitis, which is a bowel condition, and when I get the 3-minute warning, as I call it, my body says to me, it goes into cramps and convulsions and says, you need to now use the toilet, you need to go to the toilet and get rid of what's there. I need to find a parking space. I need to know where I am, and I may be in Colchester, I may be in Birmingham, I could be at Western Supermarket, I could be anywhere in the country, and in a place where I don't actually know where the nearest conveniences are. So we need to find these facilities, we need to find them relatively quickly, so that I can relieve myself and get freshened up and stuff, so I can continue on my journey. And say, look, lorry drivers and truck drivers who are driving a length and breadth of this country, it must be a massive problem for them not being able to know. Perhaps they've known where toilets were in the past, but with the current conditions in councils, whatever, toilets are closing down, councils are cutting back on the number of toilets they have. It might even be that some of the facilities where they previously knew are no longer exist, and that is a major, major problem.
We'll have more from Raymond and more about the Truckers Toilets UK campaign in coming weeks. Don't forget that Trucking TV wants to know what you think about the topics that we raise and topics that concern you. You can contact us anytime via our Facebook page and on our call-in number 07393 588 127. Leave us a voice or text message anytime. And that's it for Trucking TV's Sunday night special for this week. We'll have more news and video online during the week, and our Wednesday night special will be online at about 7 p.m. on the 8th of March. See you soon.
Why not give us a call on 0161 410 1061 when you're arranging your HGV insurance, or visit our website at www.myhgvinsurance.co.uk or our Facebook page at HGV Insurance, and let us take the stress out of arranging your HGV insurance.